welcome to episode 195 of the Nerds at Large Gaming Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Darby.
I'm Jeff Mayo.
Jeff, I got my Baja Blast.
Oh, shit.
I'm ready. We raided a Taco Bell. And by the Taco Bell, I mean grocery store, because apparently Taco Bell does not have the exclusive rights to Baja Blast anymore. It's a new age.
Whoa.
Free the blast, Jeff.
Free the blast.
Free the blast.
Or they do have the right, and they're just like, hey, let's get a little more money.
Yeah, I mean, it does say Taco Bell original on it, so they want to remind you.
Yeah.
They still want to remind you. Don't forget your roots.
That'll dream out to do, so I had no idea Baja Blast and Taco Bell were apparently...
Have you ever tried a Baja Blast?
I
will say it's not
so.
as good in the can. If you want to try it, I mean, that's pretty good. All right, here's Jeff's live review of the Baja Blast.
Not bad.
Yeah, I'm not even a soda guy, but it's just nice. Like something tropical about it.
Yeah, more fruity.
For sure, Jeff. But
like
you know what else is fruity?
What?
This video game news we're about to get into.
Oh, shit.
You gotta find the fruit. You gotta search and find it. Jeff.
If you listen to my words very closely, you'll see the fruit.
Yeah, you'll just start to. You do have to do shrooms before you watch. Yeah, sorry. I forgot to mention that part. You do have to do that.
Yeah. We forget to say that every podcast, but this one, we remember this time.
Damn it, we keep forgetting to say that.
Yeah.
Like people aren't really experiencing the true podcast.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, let's experience the true news jingle.
Jingle, jingle, jangle. So yeah,
because we have nothing to talk about. Still
playing Chris Tale's really good. No point talking about it until I'm done. But I guess before that, we're skipping next week because Darby's going to be out of town. But right after that, as far as games, the floodgates are open, and we got 12 minutes in about 2 weeks. Psychonauts 2 is going to come out. Tales is not too far off. Life is Strange, Kina, etc., and No More Heroes. Just all the shit.
Ooh, baby.
Yep.
Hold on to your butts.
So yeah, we got all news, and I got something at the end that Darby doesn't know about.
Darby rarely knows anything.
True. Okay. Darby, we're going to talk about PSVR 2. Specifically the games. This comes from Matt Purslow from IGN. Sony has reportedly expressed a desire to focus on console-quality AAA titles for PlayStation VR 2, rather than continuing the VR experience style of games seen on the original PSVR. YouTube channel PSVR Without Parole reports that Sony recently had a private event for potential PSVR 2 developers where the company said that it would like to move away from VR experiences and focus on console-quality AAA games. Sony reportedly plans to achieve this by creating hybrid games that can be played both in VR and a standard on-screen way, similar to how IO Interactive created the optional VR mode for Hitman 3. The plan would be to allow players to download either the standard or VR version of a game. And then it kind of goes on... PSVR Without Parole stuff goes on to some technical aspects of the headset, which leaked a while back, but we're not going to talk about this. We don't know what any of that shit means.
Yeah.
It's fancy and stronger.
I have conflicting viewpoints on especially that last bit because, like, I don't know. I think you end up getting the best playing in the actual best games for VR when it's made for VR from the ground up for
most
VR
unique,
with nothing else.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely the most unique. And you get all that. But I do, putting business hat on, do think games have a better shot if it's like Resident Evil 7. It's like...
So it's a weird...
talked about more because that's the problem is so many of the VR only games are only played by like a small group and just never it seems like they're perpetually niche or whatever always.
Yeah, I guess it depends how exactly, like, because it says kind of focus on them, like, or focus on console quality AAA titles, and then explains what exactly that means. I think my potential issue with this is, at least this report kind of conflates the AAA thing and it being the hybrid games instead of hybrid games being just a part of the plan. Because if it just kind of mixed in with like the Hitman 3s and Resident Evil 7s, which I love both of those in VR, mixed in with Astrobot, like a bigger budget Astrobot or in Blood and Truth and the like, that's great. Like I think that's the best course. But if it is just like deciding, okay, we're going to just pile out give developers a bunch of money to just kind of make a side mode and just kind of squeeze in VR to stuff that's not really designed for it.
Yeah, and that's what they said they want to move away from like the experiences, which yes, you should. We're like way too far into this game to be like, oh, it's a nice little thing or whatever. But it's like, is a kind of potentially tacked on VR version of a big game that much different than these like little experiences? I mean, like, I know like it can be done great. I know like Hitman and Resident Evil are really cool, but I mean a lot of times it's just like the inferior way to play the game. A lot of times the VR version is it's just like has a lot of issues, or it's just like, even if it's not inferior, it's just kind of the game slapped in on a VR headset.
Yeah,
like,
it can be cool, but
yeah.
Yeah, and again, if they do this, then you worry about again Astrobots being made or whatever, because we know Sony's working on the next big thing. If this is all true, does that mean Asobi's next game, especially if it's Astrobot, it's going to be both? Yeah. Like, it's going to have technically two versions.
And yeah, you immediately think about like, if they, when they were making Astrobot Rescue Mission, were told this also has to come on PS4, the game would have been a completely different game. Like, it would have been literally impossible to make that game that way or whatever. And that's what's cool about it. I mean, that's the kind of thing, like, I think inherently, like, it's harder to sell, but like I personally would not really be interested in any VR headset ever if it was just like VR modes for existing games or whatever, because like they can only do so much. I mean, Hitman was impressive how much they did and how much they added into VR for that, but that's somewhat rare.
Yeah, and I also think it's, for a lot of studios, just kind of like unlikely, just from the time and money aspect of it. I know IO's not like necessarily the biggest team ever, but they are, a pretty nice team. Hitman 3 was also a game building off of past things, and Sony just gave them a bunch of money because Hitman's a big IP. Yeah. It's not going to happen for every game.
And they were already putting these games out pretty darn fast or whatever, so it was like not the craziest thing, but it's like, you look at like freaking like Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2. We're making this whole big thing. It's like, oh yeah, hey, can you fit in a VR? No, fucking no. We're just trying to get this thing out. Fuck you.
No. They're gonna do like Pronto's fishing game.
Oh, they might. I mean, they're gonna milk 7 for all it's worth. So I probably should use that as an example.
What they should do, is make a VR side game where your teeth are bartending.
Oh hell yeah, I'll do that shit. Let's go.
Yeah.
I want to be a golden saucer bartender, card dealer or something.
Just characters come up and just you got to make them drinks,
and
they chatter.
Very crucial lore is said at the card table.
You need a VR headset to get all the lore.
Oh my god! Yeah, there's gonna be an entire boss fight that you only understood if you were listening in while you were dealing cards at the casino.
Yep. No, that's how all of Zach's stories told.
Yeah, I played Remake 2. Zach was just never in there. Oh, you didn't play the VR casino game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still just like, am I the only one that's I'm still just kind of reeling that the PSVR 2 is real. It's a real thing that's coming out, because like I was so sure that it was not.
It's kind of goes against, or at least it feels like, what Sony has kind of said and / done in the last couple years, besides them saying this exists. Like, their strategy going forward kind of goes, and what they've done with studios and the like has kind of goes against them actually making another headset. Yeah. Especially for the most part, it feels like they kind of have themselves kind of cut support. Games are still going on there, but those are the games that are also going to be on PC. The only thing of significance that I think was PSVR exclusive in the last little bit was the Hitman VR mode.
Yeah, no, that seems so weird, especially, I mean, just with the dongle thing and everything else just kind of pointed towards PSVR 2 not being a thing. And I still do worry that this is just like Sony is a big company, and this is almost like, the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's do. It's like they have a team that's been working on PSVR 2, and like they're going forward with that, but the rest of the company's like, okay, but we're not gonna we're not going to waste resources supporting this thing. You know, I still do worry that there's not going to be a cohesion there.
And the VR one is where the indie part of the company is, and they're both there just to appeal to Shu.
Basically, yeah, we're just trying to make you happy.
Because as far as the big guns go, Shuhei is like I buy Shuhei is really into indies and VR and stuff, and that's something he actually is into, like is behind it. Where the other ones like no.
So I'm still trepidatious, even though it's like you would think that it's like, okay, if they're gonna do PSVR 2, then that must mean that they're committing, because like why else would you even bother like doing this? But like I don't know if you have to say that. They're doing it. I'm not 100% sure convinced that it's gonna get the support from Sony that it needs.
Yeah. Well, because look at their studios. I think they've shut down a couple of the ones that were focused on VR. They have the Blood and Truth team still, and they still have Asobi, but Asobi I feel we've talked about this, more likely to just do a normal game, a non-VR game.
I think so. I would honestly.
Well, now if this maybe with a VR mode,
it might have a mode, but like I would be kind of shocked if Team Asobi next game wasn't at least completely playable normal.
And because I got a Quest, and I kind of hope they don't, selfishly.
Yeah.
I'd rather me be able to play their next game, because I know, okay, they can make great things, VR or not.
Yeah, and I want them to like blow up. I want them to get a big audience and everything. Yep. I don't know. Like I'm still just like, we could have a whole podcast just about the future of VR, because like we're multiple years into it and I'm still not sure either way. Like if it's always going to be just a niche thing like this, or if it's going to take. Is there a next level that VR is going to get to? Because it feels like VR got to a certain level of popularity and has like stayed the same. I don't feel like it's like gone down very much, but it has certainly not gone up by much. It's just kind of like,
I disagree with that. I mean, not like to a crazy degree, but Quest headsets are selling relatively well, and still like their sales continue to grow just because of the ease of use relatively to the other ones. So VR is picking up.
Yeah.
It's just not necessarily to the level like we would like, and that necessarily means it's for like, because it's Quest, doesn't necessarily mean it's particularly for gaming. It's part of it's going to get like crazy big.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I just have my own experience, but like I know so many people that have PS5s, even multiple people with Series X's. Everyone has Switches. Everyone, you know, like. I don't know a single other person outside of you, even people online who have a Quest. I mean, I'm sure like it's probably decently big, but it's like no matter what, it does not feel like VR is where anyone who is projecting it back when these headsets were coming out.
I'm not saying like it's a giant thing. I'm just saying it looks like it is trending upwards and not downwards. Like. Yeah, at least in a positive way. Yeah, even if it's not to the level
it's just slow. I think it's just a very slow growth. You know, and unfortunately, it's like PSVR has a long road to climb. I mean, like
it was the best-selling headset because of the ease of use, but Quest is just ate his lunch.
Yeah, I mean, because that had nothing to do. Like its popularity really had nothing to do with the actual the quality of the headset. It was a completely price thing. So it was very easy to just do what they did better. You know, it's like now we have a better headset for like the same price or cheaper. And
you don't have to plug it into things. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. So like I don't know. I'm gonna be very interested to see how 2 does.
Yep. Okay, Darby. Time to move on. Let's talk about Fullbright, Darby, and their little stuff going on there. People who don't know, Fullbright co-founder Steve Gaynor is kind of stepping around from his creative lead role. Though he's not stepping away from the company completely, he's still going to be a writer for their upcoming game, Open Roads. But he's kind of stepping down because there's accusations, luckily not to the level of what we've been talking about with Activision, but just kind of a toxic work environment. Particularly towards women.
Like a lot of this seems like a very auteur individualist creator who's bad at running a team. Like Ken Levine had a lot of this too. The people who are just like very, you know, like they're making a thing that they see as their own, and like anyone else trying to make any sort of input is just like getting in the way. And like I think a lot of times that's not necessarily intentional, but it ends up happening, when, especially you see this a lot when it's like a smaller indie thing like this, where like once upon a time it was just that one person, and they like built this up themselves, so when it becomes this big company with a bunch of voices, they start like shooting those down a lot. So yeah, at least like this one doesn't seem like a systemic horrible like sexual assault, that type of problem, but it is still a problem that a lot of people who end up running these companies just have way too much singular say. And
and I kind of bring this up because I know I don't always put all the like stuff related to the these kind of accusations and this kind of stuff in the podcasts, but it's kind of partly due to show, hey, it's not just necessarily the big guys. It's just kind of their problems all over the industry, big or small teams, and this is kind of an example. And Steve Gainer's not a small name,
right?
Either way. So, yeah. And it just really sucks seeing this kind of stuff because it pushes people out in the industry. We're saying like people left the team and didn't say anything because they were worried about being blacklisted in the industry, but some of them just left the industry in general.
Yeah, and that's what it doesn't have to be a big scandal to still be a problem. Like it still sucks for anyone. This is their dream job and they get there and they have to leave because of the environment, not even because of the actual job itself. And that's just like, that's heartbreaking.
Yep. Yeah. Want to bring that up? I kind of forgot the Fullbright announced the game in December.
Yeah, vaguely remembers.
Was that the Game Awards? Is that it? And we got a quick Activision update. We don't have to go on it too long, but Blizzard's president is leaving after all the backlash regarding to the harassment and the lawsuit and all that kind of stuff.
Yes, which is like, I mean, like with everything in any of these stories, there's, I guess, good and bad. I mean, I guess on the good side, this happened under this guy's watch, and so, I mean, I guess he should leave. But then also, I mean, this just gives Bobby Kotick just
a
more
scapegoat.
like a scapegoat, and like, okay, let me just encroach a little bit more on Blizzard now. Just get in there a little bit more as the big people fall out, and like, it doesn't matter what happens. Bobby Kotick is like way too powerful. He would have to leave himself, and he's not gonna do that.
Nope.
So I don't know. There's just it's hard not to be pessimistic about really anything. Like I don't think this is one of those things. Like, look, he left, so.
As far as Blizzard in particular and potential change, as far as the Blizzard sides go, former Vicarious Visions leader Jen O'Neill and former Xbox executive Mike Ybarra are now the co-leaders of Blizzard. And the reason I said what I said related to them is they're both relatively new. They've been in the industry a long time and stuff. Not saying things will automatically get better, but at least there's reason to believe they weren't really involved in really. They haven't been around that long.
Probably, it's good to not have old hat people in this thing, because obviously that's just not, it's time for a new age. It's time for some new blood at the top of this company. It's obviously sorely needed.
Yep. And
I mean, I've heard good things about Mike Ybarra, but who fucking knows about anyone at this point? Like,
like, we can try to be optimistic.
We can try.
All right, Darby. We're moving right along with this shit. All right, Darby, we got some juicy rumors that popped up over the weekend.
Juicy like a fruit?
Did you get that from guys? All the stuff comes from Imran Khan from Fanbyte. I won't read all of it. I'll read some of the stuff from his article. I'll at least detail some of the beginning, how this started. So over the weekend, rumors got us swirling in the Xenoblade fandom about the potential third game, because voice actor Jenner Coleman, who played Melia in the first Xenoblade Chronicles, you might recognize that name if you're a Doctor Who head, because she apparently a major character in Doctor Who after Xenoblade is blown up.
But she's more known for Xenoblade.
Yes. But yeah, so she did an interview with a YouTuber who has less subscribers than us. So Darby, we need to get on this shit.
I know. Come on, we have no excuse.
And she kind of said, was talking about potentially another game. Is that common knowledge? I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that, or it's kind of like, okay, I might be working on something. Might not be allowed to say it. And I'll start here from Imran's article. Coleman's quote has caused rumors to stir over the weekend of a new Xenoblade Chronicles currently in development. According to our sources here, we can indeed confirm that to be the case. Moreover, the game is nearing its final stages of development, but its release date may be held back for any number of reasons. The third Xenoblade Chronicles game in development at Monolith Soft is a sequel to Xenoblade Chronicles 2, currently the best-selling game in the series. The ending of the trilogy takes place in the far-flung future of a few returning characters who have long outlived their human counterparts from both Xenoblade Chronicles and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. This is why Coleman, who plays Melia, would be aware of a third game, as her character is returning, and she more than likely has recorded voice acting for it. According to our sources, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was set to be revealed earlier this year, and may still be announced before the end of the calendar year, but has had a difficult time with pandemic development optimizing the game for the Switch. The game is aiming for more character models on the screen at once than any previous title, accounting for both playable characters and enemies. This shouldn't come as a galloping shock, as Xenoblade Chronicles Film Edition's expanded content was titled Future Connected, indicating that Monolith Software is looking forward to the future of the series. If all goes well, the game could be released as soon as the first half of next year, delayed from its original and now exceedingly unlikely winter 2021 target date. As always, things can change, and no in-development game should be considered as a guarantee to be exactly the same as described or even see release. So yeah, a lot of juicy details here.
I feel so bad for this lady. She's like, I'm just gonna do this nice thing for this small nerdy YouTube channel, and now
I feel bad. Oh, I didn't actually watch anything from the interview, but I saw people comment on it, and it's one of those. Unfortunately, you can tell the person's like a small YouTube because they're apparently very awkward and just kind of, I guess, very nervous.
No,
it's like, oh, that's sad. But hopefully, they're getting some subscribers and stuff from this because they're. Actually, let me shout them out real quick. Let's see. YouTube channel Din's Meteorite. DIN''S Meteorite.
Hey, hell yeah. What a score. What a score.
Yeah, mainly for Xenoblade, but it's still a big Doctor Who actress.
Yeah. But yeah, what do you think about the actual thing, though?
I am excited about this, and I think it lines up because, spoiler alert for Xenoblade 2 and what they are connected.
Spoilers.
The ending showed for 2 showed they are very much connected. The ending for both gave us reason to believe maybe their roles potentially combined, both and all that. But Future's connected. Unfortunately, did not really give them the detail for that. Like, it didn't really hint at any more of that.
But it didn't deny it either.
No, it didn't deny it either, and still kind of it had like some weird portal shit. So it's like, okay, maybe you can at least jump 2 dimension kind of thing, maybe.
Ratchet and Clank come through.
Yeah. But as far as like Emma was talking about the game being in the far distant future, that makes sense why Coleman would know, because Melee, her character is from a species that ages very slowly. She looks like a teenager in 1 or early 20s, but she's actually like 88.
Of course.
So, she could be, it could be 100 years in the future, and she looks like a middle-aged woman or somewhat older. And I can easily see what her role is being, because she ends up being the empress of her people. So just having her there, potentially being like, you can have her descendant as a party member. Who knows? And there's also the Blades like Pyra and Mithra and stuff. If they're bringing back old characters that don't age,
okay.
So they're pretty much immortal, could also be returning. So all those Blade characters could be, though some of their memories might be erased. So there are plenty of characters they can bring back, but like Rex and Shulk would potentially not be there, and it could be them talking.
Dead as hell.
Yeah, part of the story could be them kind of going like. So you can see what happened with them in the past, or what led up to them, or maybe they didn't, like
Pyramithra dying of old age.
Pyramithra dealing with the loss of
cancer.
Rex and all that stuff. So there's some interesting things here. The thing that does potentially concern me about this game is the fact they're saying they're going for more character models on the screen than ever before.
I was about to say, didn't 2 already have bad frame rate and resolution problems?
Yes. It didn't bother me nearly as much as other people, but yes.
Well, but even I from the outside, I'm sure like the game is still probably pretty and everything. It's just like Monolith Soft. Imagine what Monolith Soft can do if they didn't have to make Switch games.
Yeah.
They clearly want to not be making Switch games. They're like trying to push as far as they can. Like, I just wish that company would just went indie and just put things on PC because it would be crazy. It would be so cool.
Yep.
I mean that my more thing is not that it looks bad, but it could look so bad, so much better. You know,
like despite the resolution and shit, the some of the environments in Xenoblade in general are gorgeous.
Yeah,
despite their hardware.
Right. I even saw that with the first one. I'm just like, these people just know what the fuck they're doing with open worlds. But
There's a reason they are a big part of Breath of the Wild's open world.
Yeah. I just wish I could see that expertise fully realized in something like that. But
so this has me excited, especially since apparently, according to Imran, who we've talked about frequently past, I believe what he says.
People.
Yeah, that this is close and was potentially going to come out this year. I don't expect that, obviously, but
well, 2 was like 17, right? 2017.
Yeah, so I think that lines up with with us potentially getting it soon. Because I think there's only like 2 or 3 years between X and 2. But I could see it being announced in the potential September Direct. I'm not saying there's a rumor about it. It's just Nintendo of the past. It may or may not happen. They usually have like a September Direct.
Could that happen?
And that'd be a great one more thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And say 2022, and you're like, oh, so you have Pokemon Legends Arceus, Breath of the Wild 2, Splatoon, Mario Plus Rabbids, and Xenoblade at the very least in 2022. Ooh, baby.
Let's go.
I mean, like legitimately, I know a lot of it. It's funny enough, a lot of it is sequels of 2017 games.
I mean, it makes sense because they all. I mean, like that's kind of the almost price you pay when you put everything into having a banner year in 2017 for your launch. Is like. Well, when you only have so many studios, you did all of them. So it's like now you get 4 years of like, squeeze it out. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, now it's like potentially for Nintendo's first party or exclusive lineup, next year could rival it if they all hit and they all meet expectations.
Yeah, this is 2017 part 2.
Yes. So I am very excited for this. The moment that's announced is easily one of my most anticipated games, automatically, no questions asked.
Baby. Yeah.
Yeah, very excited. And I've seen some people kind of mixed or maybe not up like on the fact that this will be a sequel directly to 1 and 2. Since they opened up that whole thing of them being 1 and 2 being connected, and I think they did it very well and it was very cool.
Yeah.
I want them to follow that through.
Yeah, that would be a little disappointing if that was just like, and that's it. It's like,
I want them to do that for a game. And I think that'd be a good way since X wasn't a number thing, but for the number ones, this being the final game of the trilogy.
Yeah. I guess hopefully maybe they just introduce enough like new characters.
Oh yeah. Well, I think that's the good thing about if it being hundreds of years in the future where a lot of the characters will be dead is whether they're party members or not, there'll still be some remnants of the past games character-wise and stuff, but they'll have to introduce enough new.
You think if it's 100 years in the future, did they just, like, see each other and then they're like, all right, peace, and then didn't see each other again for 100 years? Or you think that these people mixed in and we just don't see that? Like, we just skip ahead?
It depends. Well, okay, I will say this. Or based on what you said, 1 and 2, the characters never saw each other.
I thought they saw through the portal.
They did see they technically didn't see them. It's like a weird thing. You just hear, sorry, spoilers for everything. You hear Shulk from the end of Xenoblade Chronicles 1 at the end of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Rex doesn't actually hear him. But technically Shulk is in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 as DLC, but I don't count that as canon until they say otherwise.
He's like a DLC. You scan your amiibo and you get a Shulk.
You buy the DLC and Shulk and Fiora are blades. So you use them as weapons. They're like pirates. Yes, they talk and they actually story things, which is cool. But I don't count that as canon.
Weird, yeah.
The Smash trailer also plays with that because of the end of the trailer when they talk like they know each other. Because, yeah.
Weird.
So, yeah, I'm curious to see what they go for. There's a lot of ways they go for it, and I'm in for all of it. Because a lot of there are a lot of cool characters. Like, yeah, because they're immortal, they can carry over. And I'd be curious to see how they play with that.
Yeah, I'm very interested. Like, I want to play a Monolith soft game at some point because it seems like their open worlds are very cool.
Yes, I'd recommend. I mean, just for Darby or anyone potentially. Obviously, I understand not jumping in at 2 because I know there's the general gotcha thing and the designs. I get it. Yeah. I do hope they tone that shit down a lot. But the stuff is still really good, so I obviously recommend Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. But if you want something shorter,
Torna.
Yeah, I do recommend. It's a standalone thing. It's a prequel to 2. It does kind of spoil some things for 2, but I heard it's really good. I have not played it yet.
Yeah.
This whole thing makes like I actually jump on that.
I've heard a lot of people say the same thing as you. They're like, if you think that if you like know that you want to play all these games, then don't play it first. Play it in the right order. But if you're like on the fence and it's like you don't know whatever, then like play Torna because like that might convince you. You know, that will actually show you like, do I really want to play this or not? And it's like, yeah.
Yep. I've heard some people say it's like maybe partly because it's the pacing of it, because it's kind of a more focused thing. Like some people say characters and story is some of the best in the series and all that.
You haven't even played it, have you?
I have not. It's the one Xenoblade thing I have not played yet. So I need to jump on that.
In time.
Yeah. It was just unfortunate timing of once it came out, I just finished 2. I was like,
Xenoblade out.
Yeah. There's like, okay, Definitive Edition's coming out. I'll just wait for that. And I was like, yeah.
In time, you'll be
obviously, this whole news jumps it up in my backlog.
Yeah, I'm sure, like, right before, sometime before 3, you'll get it. You'll get it.
Yeah. Okay, Darby, final news thing. This got to be a record.
Whoa. 31 minutes in.
Yep.
Shit.
Darby, we got Nintendo financial report.
Hey, yeah, we do.
I got the thing up where all the numbers are going to be, but I am not going to say all the numbers like I normally do because like Odyssey Breath of the Wild is like, okay, they jumped up like 1 million, 500,000. We don't need to say all those numbers.
I need to know.
Nintendo Switch has shipped more than 89 million units. And by the way, all these numbers are by the end of June, so there's been another month and a half-ish of sales.
And I did buy 20 million Switches this month. So
He did.
So I'm so in debt.
Yep. 89 million units, helping it pass both Xbox 360 and PS3 to help it become the 7th biggest games console of all time, 7th highest selling. That doesn't count handhelds, I believe. Just like or maybe it does at this point. Yeah, I think it does, actually. Yeah.
So what did it pass this time?
Xbox 360 and PS3.
Nice.
And it is now only 12 million behind the Wii at 101.63 million units.
It's fucking wild.
So yeah, obviously by the end of this fiscal year, if not before, it's going to outsell the Wii. There's no question about it. And it's just going to keep on going.
Bananas. The Wii was
no price drop.
I know, yeah. The Wii was like a crazy moment. And like by the end of that Wii thing, it was just like, anyone buy one, please?
Yeah.
Buy games, do something.
I'm sure we've talked about it. I don't think we've talked. I think it's been a while, but I think I'll bring up this question now. Darby, what do you think where do you think the Switch will potentially land? Do you think it has any chance of approaching the PS2 DS is as the best selling console?
I think it legitimately does because, like, I mean, like, I definitely a few years ago, even into the Switch's success, would have never said it would. But like at this point, it's usually every console has like some weird fatal flaw or something. Like the PS2, everyone just buying because it was DVDs, and so maybe the software, while sold really well, was not like quite. You know, a lot of PS2s went out there and people didn't buy games for it. The Wii, same thing. It was like crazy phenomenon, and the software completely petered out into nothing because more than half of the people buying the consoles were not buying it for games.
Most games were shovelware.
Yeah. The Switch is one of those that it has both. Like every single series that Nintendo has, like completely usually outsells all of its previous ones combined on the Switch, with very few exceptions. Third parties, like a lot of them doing the same thing. I think the like bigger third party, that's starting to become an issue, but that's not like really affecting sales right now. And as far as I can see, this thing is just in incredibly high demand. There's people buying multiple Switches at some point. Like, I mean, I know that PS2 number is really high, and they easily could not do it, but like at this point, I'm like, it could.
It's let's see, it's been out for about 4.5 years, and with no signs of slowing down, so it keeps up the pace, then yeah, it could easily surpass it. Again, it hasn't even had a price drop. I think it would just depend, like, does it slow down and at all? And in that case, how does Nintendo respond? And is that enough? Because yeah, if they drop it to, they could just drop it to 250, 200 at some point, the basic thing.
Exactly.
And I mean, that would sell more.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, cause yeah, they haven't even. I mean, that shows you how much in demand it's been. It's been like 4 or 5 years, or whatever, and they haven't even needed to. It's still selling like it's still the fastest selling console of all time at its base price point. It's wild. This thing should have been $400 clearly.
Yeah,
I'm glad it wasn't.
Yeah. As far as comparing it to last year, during the company's Q1, it did about 4.5 million units, down 21% compared to last year. So that was Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
that was a big part of that.
Yeah. I mean, but like I think it's gone up and down, but it's never been like, and this is even with like very software light from Nintendo recently outside of that, and that just hasn't.
And as we talked about, I just mentioned what is 2022, and even the second half of this year is I think very good. Not necessarily the big hitters, but very good software lineup. It's like, well, now they're gonna start releasing a bunch of big games.
And then next year should be a shot in the arm. I mean, who knows if any of it? I mean, the Switch just sells anyway. Who knows? But
like the 5 games I mentioned, they come out and they're as good as people hope and all that kind of stuff.
And whatever. And it's like
and as in other stuff they released, best like I said, best exclusive lineup for the Switch potentially of any other year. So,
yep. Wow, I mean, I honestly a few years ago, probably on this podcast, said that I didn't think it would pass the Wii. Like, I just thought like there was no shame to the Switch. I was like, I would have bet that like the Switch makes more money with like software and everything, and it's like a healthier console. But I wouldn't have thought that it would actually outsell the Wii, because like the Wii just had such a gimmick that I just didn't think that. Because like most of the people, like the Switch has a gimmick, but like most people buying the Switch, I mean, it's a game machine. There's no illusion that this is a workout machine. It's like, I know there's Ring Fit, but it's like not the same thing. It's like to where the Wii, so many people buying the Wii didn't know who the fuck Link was or what the like Legend of Zelda, any of this shit. It's like balance board, Wii Sports. That's the system. I mean, that's like.
Wait, let me look at something real quick. That just made me think.
So I mean, I wouldn't have thought that this like. That's why I think not only is this selling as much as the Wii, it's like it's a way healthier player base. For them to like continue to make money off of.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of software, just real quick, it was Damiani from Michael Damiani from Easy Allies kind of mentioned. I don't remember the exact numbers, but mentioning at the pace they're going, they will probably pretty soon healthily exceed like the most software Nintendo's ever sold on a console.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like 700 million or something or something like that. And I think they never passed 1 billion. It's like, oh, they're easily gonna pass that. We're this early in the life cycle. I just thought of something, Darby, that I wanted to look up. You mentioned like no one knows Link and mentioned Wii Fit, so I want to compare Breath of the Wild sales to Wii Fit.
So
Breath of the Wild has surpassed Wii Fit in sales,
baby,
but not if you combine Wii Fit and Wii Fit Plus.
Okay,
because they're both like 22, 21 million.
Were they two different games?
I guess. Yeah,
we don't even know.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Nerds won.
Yep. Take that, you fucking dorks. So yeah, let's get to those individual game sales. there were 7 Nintendo there were 7 Nintendo games that sold 1 million in the quarter.
A baker's dozen.
Baker's dozen. And there were 2 non-Nintendo games that broke 1 million in the quarter. One of them was easily Monster Hunter Rise. They didn't say which one, but Rise I'm going to assume is one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know about the next other one. Could be probably Minecraft or some shit.
Yeah.
There's a decent chance of that. But yeah.
Balan Wonderworld.
I already seen that game on sale for less than $20. As it should be.
You gotta pay me $20.
Sorry, if I pay you $20, will we do a full playthrough?
No.
Okay, fair enough. Animal Crossing New Horizons. It has sold 33.98 million. It's can't stop, won't stop, you know. Also in Can't Stop, Won't Stop news, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has sold 37 million, which I think makes it surpass Mario Kart Wii.
I actually missed that Animal Crossing surpassed it.
It didn't surpass Mario Kart yet.
I thought you just said Animal Crossing was 38 and it was 37. What did you say?
33.98. I might have misspoke. It was
okay.
It's right under 34 million.
And then
37.08 million for Mario Kart.
Gotcha.
Yeah. There's a chance Animal Crossing might surpass it. Probably not.
It could. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know which. I mean, Animal Crossing was definitely selling faster, at least for a while. I don't know.
I feel like now they're kind of keeping at pace with each other, maybe.
Yeah.
And I know, like, our main frame of reference is NPDs, which is just the U.S. physical sales. But I feel like Mario Kart 8 usually is higher on that right now.
It's always
consistently in the top 10. Animal Crossing is always on the chart, but I don't think it's ever as high as months at this point.
It probably won't, but I think they'll always be very close. And
oh well, poor Nintendo, both having.
Do you think the Switch will end its life cycle with both of those two games still 1 and 2 at the very top?
I can't even comprehend what could surpass it.
I can't either. I literally can't either.
Fair question. I can't think what could do it.
I don't either.
No. I was gonna say, well, maybe they release a Mario Kart 9. I was like, no. Even then,
no,
like the legs of 8 is the reason it's sold as much.
Mario Kart might never sell that.
Yeah.
Probably won't ever sell that good again.
Yeah.
Like,
and as we talked about, I don't think we're getting another Mario Kart to the next system. They have absolutely no reason to.
I don't either.
Like, that's a great launch game because it will sell it.
yes. No, absolutely.
That is the way it potentially. I mean, I guess the Switch pretty much launched with it, but with the more initial hype of that potential next console,
like the Nintendo pulled the greatest fast one on everyone. Like, they got to take their 2014 game and just basically treat it like a new game, and it became a system seller for a new a game. Like, they basically got to just sit out a generation on Mario Kart, and it did not fucking matter.
Yeah, I want to say Mario Kart 8 Deluxe might be one of the top selling non-pack-in games of all times, like retail games.
Wow, it's a fucking port.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
And everyone forgets it's a port. I understand, because we are in a small minority that had already played that game a ton by the time the Switch came out.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, 6.68 million. Has surpassed the original release of it now. And yeah, has got some 12 million, 13 million total sales for 3D World. Let's go.
Mario.
Bowser Fury hype. I'm curious to see how much of a precursor Bowser Fury is for the next Mario game.
Same. Yeah. I just want to see the next Mario game.
Dang. Or next 3D Mario game. New Pokemon Snap. 2.07 million sales, not counting Japan. Because they I guess maybe Bamco published it in Japan or something. Might be the reason.
Wasn't it pretty I remember seeing crazy launch things for that game in Japan. But I mean, even the game that explodes in Japan, it's only so many copies. But anyway, whatever.
Yeah. Not counting Japan, it did over 2 million, which I think is good for this kind of spin-off game for Pokemon.
Yeah,
it's in 2 mil, and I love the game. It's not the biggest budget game.
I mean, I simultaneously think that's really good. Also, if it did lower than that, I would have been kind of surprised.
Yeah.
That's about and not that it's crazy because it's like such a simple game. Like if anyone else releases a game that simple, it does not sell that much. But it's like Pokemon. It's like yeah.
Hey, jumping on the DLC.
Take them snaps.
Gotta take them snaps. They had a new Pokemon, Darby. New Pokemon to discover. Miitopia. Sold right over $1 million at 1.04 million. You know what? For a 3DS port, good on you, Miitopia.
Yep.
It was kind of interesting because I think the original Miitopia just kind of came and went. But I feel like, this kind of had a moment in a certain part of Twitter and YouTube where a good, this group of people were just really playing it.
I think there's just a lot of positivity with the Switch, and everyone is willing to take a chance on a lot of things they never did before.
Yeah,
and I've also heard people say if you have kids, this is a very, 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 very good entry point to turn-based JRPG type thing, and you can play it 4 player as a whole family and everything.
And I definitely just. What you just said for kids, and also the fact of we can play us in a video game.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
Granny's the bad guy.
Exactly. No, I mean it's great. Yeah, it's obviously not something me, a 25-year-old man, is gonna play on my own and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But Griffin McElroy, podcast guy, I really like. Yeah, he was his son's now old, just old enough to be playing some video games. So him, his wife, and their son would play it, and the same exact thing you said. It's yeah, they put grandma and everything. It's all the different characters, and it's just inherently funny when grandma comes out and electrocutes someone. It's just inherently great. That's just cool.
I mean, we can have fun with that. But I think it's a feel good one, and it's kind of one of those things. Talking about it, we forget because when we talk about specific numbers for game sales, it's usually always Nintendo because they're the only ones who really give it.
Yep.
So. You kind of forget sometimes $1 million is actually a lot.
Yeah, no, it is.
We kind of take that for granted.
For Nintendo, $1 million becomes the baseline, but it's
it's a failure when we don't get $1 million on their first party games. Any of them. Mario Golf Super Rush 1.34 mil.
That was a fast 1.34 mil too.
Yeah,
especially if this ended in June, right? So
so it did very little.
That's a fast one.
Yeah. And finally, Ring Fit Adventure bumping off new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe as the 10th best-selling Nintendo Switch game at 11.26 million.
Get fucked 2D. It's time to get fit.
The Ring Fit saga has been interesting because it just kind of came out and kind of okay, then it just exploded.
Do you think the scarcity ultimately helped it sell more? Or do you think it would have sold more if it was just available the whole time?
I feel like in this case, I think it would have. I think it would help it sell more if it wasn't so scarce because I feel like people who. People just be able to buy it.
And COVID was that was the hot thing for COVID.
Yeah. Oh, and I finally have on here Super Mario Party 15.72 million. To remind people that we failed as a species.
No justice in the
and
world.
that Mario Party Superstores are the fuck is called going to sell a lot because I am also a failure to our species in buying that game.
You have failed us, but we'll forgive you.
All right, Darby, it's time for our main topic.
Well, if I just busted out a whole binder of Yu-Gi-Oh cards right now, would you just scrap whatever you have and we would just play Yu-Gi-Oh?
You know what? I'd do it. If the camera just comes down from the top, it's let's go.
Yep.
So, Darby, I don't know if you remember, but Gamescom's in 2 weeks.
God, no. God, I don't remember. Cool.
And Jeff Keighley's having his opening night live.
It's hilarious. Yes.
And Microsoft just announced their little showcase thing. Let me give the details for that real quick. For the Xbox showcase, it's going to be August 24th at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And they said the show will include in-depth updates from some of our previously announced Xbox Game Studio titles, alongside some of our third-party partners, including some of the incredible titles coming to Xbox's holiday, upcoming release for our monthly subscription service, Xbox Game Pass, and much more. Then Jeff Keighley announced last week, I think, the date and time and stuff for Open Night Live, but he just gave some little hype thing today. It'll be a 2-hour show on August 25th, 2 p.m. Eastern time. It will have this holiday's biggest games plus more game announcements, gameplay demos, trailers, and news. Game Over says, it's 2 hours. Who knows how many games, all that kind of stuff.
Is it on a Thursday like all these things are?
It's a Tuesday and Wednesday.
Even worse.
So I'm getting I think I get my schedule like tomorrow or the next day for that week. Mm-hmm. So I might react to them. If I'm off, I'll do it. Either one of them. Even though it'll be myself. But yeah, sorry, I had an idea, but I need to grab something real quick.
Oh, fuck.
Entertain the people.
Guys, I'm scared. I'm so scared. Hold on, I know how to entertain you. All right. Are you not entertained? I can't even find the microphone. Are you not entertained? All right, let me tell you my manifesto. You said entertain them, and I panicked.
Darby. We're having a mini betting special.
Oh, fuck!
I had to get the betting blazer.
Oh, shit. We busted out. It's just me, though.
So, Darby,
Oh, this is a lot of pressure.
I had this idea in the shower this morning, as I have my best ideas.
Of course.
So I had to kind of scrounge this together. I kept on thinking, okay, obviously you're going to participate, but who else is going to participate? I'm not going to try to put any pressure on Will or Jacob, especially for, try to scrounge them real quick for this. I was thinking, do I join in? It's like, no, I'm making the bet. So I decided your opponent is a random number generator.
Let's go, baby. I cannot wait to lose to this thing. Oh my god.
See, I'll explain how exactly that worked.
Oh my god.
So yes, these bets are going to be focused on these two events. I don't think there's any bet that will encompass anything non these two showcases in Gamescom. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna have two categories. We're gonna have two rounds. And well, the first way to set this up is, you know me, big Easy Allies fan. And as a big fan, I just steal all their ideas.
Of course.
So we're gonna have Jeff Bucks.
Okay, great.
Completely original. Mm-hmm. So for each round, you and the random number generator are gonna start with 2,000 Jeff Bucks. So 4,000 total.
Okay.
But you can only use 2,000 on each category. The first one is a kind of a will this happen thing. I'll say something and I'll have odds with it. Mm-hmm. And if you bet on it, you'll say that is happening, and you'll put amount of money on it.
Yes.
And if it happens, you get that payout. If it's 2-1, you get paid 2 times what you paid for. 3-1, 3 times what you paid. You bet on it, etc., etc. I have 7 questions per category. You got to bet on at least 4 of them.
Damn.
I'm going to go through them one by one. I'm going to allow you, Darby, 1 change after I read them all out.
Okay.
I guess unless you don't bet on any of them, then I don't know. We'll figure it out, I guess. All
right.
I guess at some points, like, you're gonna have to bet on something.
Okay.
We'll figure that out. The change can be, you can either change like the amount on a bet, transfer money, or you can either like decide, okay, I don't want to do this bet, so you put the money on one bet, the exact amount on another bet you passed on earlier.
Okay.
Will be the way that works.
And so I'm making these decisions as you're doing them, not like at the end of the category.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And let's see here. What I did with the random number generator, because I think this is funny. Obviously it had a certain amount of money it can use too in the categories. It has to do the same rules as you.
Yeah.
Where it has to, bet on 4, and you can only bet on increments of 100, by the way. Just to make it simple.
I can't do my 666.
Nope. And what I did is starting with it 1 to 7 and the random number generator, and just use that, click that 4 times to see which bets it was going to bet on. Mm-hmm. And then I did it 1 or 1 to 20, so 100 to 200 to see how much he was betting on each one.
I can't. This thing's gonna beat me. This is gonna be the funniest thing.
So let's get through it. There's a little something different for the next one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through all yours, then I will tell you what the random number generator betted on.
So how much money do I have again?
You have 2,000.
I mean, how much money total do I have?
4,000, but
Okay.
2,000 per category.
Yeah. Okay.
Or round. So let's get into it, Darby. And again, this was thrown together real quick, so the balance is probably fucked. But let's have fun. Okay.
So there's 2 rounds.
2 rounds.
2 rounds. Okay.
With 7 bets each.
Gotcha. All right. Let's do it.
All right. First one. With 2 to 1 odds, will Halo Infinite get a release date? Or Halo Infinite gets a release date? And I'm going to make it just in case you thought about this. If it gets a release date, like it's got to be an exact release date.
Yeah,
none of this holiday, none delayed to
Especially at
2022.
this point, yeah.
If for some reason they decide to delay the single player or the multiplayer into 2022, but gives a date for one of them,
That'll count.
that'll count.
Okay. I think very much yes. I mean, the thing is coming out this fucking holiday. It kind of feels like you have to. I almost want to like drop a cool 1,000 or something on it, but I guess I don't know what else is gonna. But I mean, at this, I'm hoping random number generator is a crazy enough bastard that I should bet on the sure thing, and just get the sure points. We'll go 900
900
on Halo Infinite coming out.
Nice. Also, deciding what odds for all of this was kind of weird. It's like, what are the actual odds?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird, but we'll see how it goes. With 6 to 1, I have 6 to 1 odds.
Okay.
New Hellblade trailer / information.
Yeah, see, this one's a little harder.
Yeah.
This one's a little harder. So just new trailer at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of something new. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to put
6 to 1 odds. That's a big payout.
300. I'm not even keeping track of my money.
You spent 1,200. You have 800 left. You need to do at least 2 more bets.
I'll do 200 on that instead.
Okay. I have this one at 3 to 1 odds. This next one. Will Fall Guys or Among Us appear in Opening Night Live? Jeff Keighley loves those games.
I'm going to pass.
You're going to pass? Okay.
I'm going to pass. They've been in a lot of things. So
That's kind of why I bumped it a slightly higher to 3 to 1 is like, because since Fall Guys was released, or one of them has been in, if not both, has been in every Jeff Keighley thing.
Yeah, which I think, obviously he kept that going for a long time, but I think it finally stops here.
All right. 2 to 1 odds. Opening Night Live will have a musical performance. And I would count a pre-show.
I don't think it did last year. I think it was more of just a small buttoned up show. Yeah, I'm gonna pass it. Well, it might have had, like, especially in the pre-show. Yeah, pre-show. I'll put 100 on it.
All right. Cool 100.
Yeah, the pre-show is probably where that would be.
All right, so yeah, you have 800 for the remaining 3 bets.
Okay.
At 4 to 1 odds, and this is at either showing, a new Elden Ring trailer.
No, pass.
No? Okay.
Pass.
Okay. Put that there.
That's bait.
Yeah. Well, it's coming out in January, and
It is.
Keighley and Xbox is where both the previous things have been shown.
True, but I'm gonna pass.
5 to 1. New Call of Duty.
It's gonna come somewhere, but
It doesn't have to be announced there.
I don't know, but Sony's probably not gonna have an event anytime soon. It's definitely possible. Certainly possible. I have 800 left.
Yep, and you have this is the next to last bet.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And so my one revision is for like the whole damn thing at the end.
It's for each category. I mean, you
get
one revision for each one.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll put
5-1 odds, Darby.
I'll put 300.
All right.
I'd probably spread myself out too much in this category.
All right, so yeah, you got 500 left. Sony, there will be a Sony first party game at opening night live at 8-1 odds.
Can I put my remaining 500 on one of my previous bets?
I would allow that, but you had to put all of it on.
Put
as a revision.
All of it on Halo.
Okay.
What did that put my Halo up to?
1,400.
Hell yeah, baby, let's go.
All righty. So what we have here is for will Halo Infinite get a release date? 1,400. Do I put 1,400 2-1 odds?
You better not screw me, Master Chief.
200 on new Hellblade Trails information at 6-1 odds. Nothing at Fall Guys or Among Us at 3-1 odds. 100 for musical performance at opening night live for 2-1 odds. Skipped Elden Ring trailer at 4-1. 300 on new Call of Duty at 5-1, and skipped the Sony one. Ratchet and Clank was there last year. I was like, let's do this.
Yeah, I don't think.
I was trying to think.
Everything's delayed. You know.
Like, maybe see if there's anything. I was also thinking, like, okay, I want a big, like, 8+ odds one.
Yeah.
Got to throw that in there.
It could happen, but this does not feel like the year for that to happen. Because, yeah.
So, Darby, let me tell you what the random number generator did.
This mad lad over here.
Yes. So it only did place bet on four bets.
Okay.
Because what I did was I did what bets it was going to bet on, highlighted them, and went down in the same order you did, as far as the number, and then started at 1 to 20, put whatever amount of 100 it was there, and then just kept on going down until you ran out of money.
Right.
I had to do a little thinking on the next category, but this one is pretty straightforward. Will Halo Infinite get a release date? Bet 200 on it. Just a measly 200.
Not believing.
Yeah. It's like, I guess this will happen, but I don't want to.
He's scared. He's scared of Master Chief and his big gun.
It doesn't believe there'll be any Hellblade information.
Yeah, I'm close to being
Yeah. Doesn't believe any Fall Guys or Among Us.
Smart man.
He decided to go a little higher on the musical performance and put a nice 400 on it.
All right.
But
about to say,
like Isla Hink from Easy Allies, bet a lot on Elden Ring. 1,100 4-1 odds.
Yeah, like Jeff actually reveals it was Isla the whole time. He said it wasn't a random number generator, but he said it.
So at least as far as this category goes, we're just doing straight up money, which is where my whole balance comment came from. So there's no betting electoral college in this. This is how much money you have. But if it wins this, straight up win, probably.
Jesus.
Well, maybe if you got yes on everything, maybe. But yeah.
I cannot wait to lose to this thing.
New Call of Duty didn't believe. It had hope for the Sony first party game at opening night live. Put a nice 300 on it.
All right. Well, like the fan base already likes the number generator more than me for Elden Ring. He's already won the hearts and minds.
There's a chance the Elden Ring there since it's.
I think it is. I was probably too dismissive of it. I think there's definitely a chance.
All right, Darby. So round 2, it's kind of a remix on, we usually do yes, no, and then numbers. This is kind of like that. The first one, it was just kind of you just saying straight up this was happening. This one is also number related, but we're going over and under.
Okay.
what you got to do here
Scary.
is you got to decide if you're going to bet on it, and then if you're going to go over or under the number I give.
Scary.
Yep. So yeah, even if you bet on it. Okay, let's see.
5K.
So same rules apply. You got to bet on at least 4. You have 2,000.
All right.
All righty. There will be 15 new games announced for Game Pass.
So it's both of them combined, even though Jeff's probably won't have much, but yeah.
Anything on Microsoft, but both.
Do we know how long Xbox's thing is?
We do not.
I'm gonna bet. What are the odds?
There are no odds. You
right.
you just get money.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I guess I'll stay for the payout for this. I was struggling with that.
Yeah.
You just get double what you paid.
Okay. I'm gonna bet 400 on over.
All right. Yeah, I guess for reference, because this is a Gamescom thing. So knowing I did look this up to get an idea, maybe what the good number is. It was close to 30 at the E3 showcase. So
Yep.
So we'll see. 25% over opening night live games will be games as a service.
So wait, so we're doing over and over. All right.
Yeah,
We'll be games. Okay, yeah, you always have one of these, and it's always hard.
The Jeff Keighley showcase, 2-hour showcase.
500 on under. 25% is a lot. Are we talking about of the games there or the time spent?
The actual number of games.
The number of games, yeah. 500 on under.
There's like 27% in
really
E3 thing.
Oof.
That's why that's a good number. It's kind of like he.
We'll see, I guess.
There will be 8 new games total announced during Open Art Live and Xbox. Like brand new, never before revealed games.
Yeah. What am I at now?
You got 1,100 left and 5 more bets.
We'll go. I'll do. I hope you have some like bad bets coming up. I do feel like I should put a lot on this because like there's definitely gonna be 8 games. At least 9 games. New games announced. Probably. I'll go. I mean, between 1 and 200. I'll do 200 on over.
So I'm thinking that as far as that number goes, and it's between 2 conferences, so I don't think your bet is bad. Is Gamescom feels like it's more on new news for previously announced games. And stuff.
Yeah, it is. It is, but
I feel like 8 was a good, especially between 2. Like, okay, this is kind of a good make round.
Okay.
2 games will be shared between both conferences.
So they're 1 day apart.
Yes.
But that has not stopped people before.
No.
I have 4 more bets.
You got 4 more bets to decide on. You've already bet on 3, so you only need to do 1 more.
Right.
So you can pass if you just...
I think it's probably true. That's the problem. I'm spreading myself way too thin.
You got 900 left.
Two games will be shared. Would that include like a dumb pre-show trailer? That's just like some stupid little thing. Or what if it's the same trailer shown again?
I'd count that. if they're technically
200, then yes.
or over or under. Remember?
Wait, yeah, it would have to be 3, wouldn't it? I was thinking 2 sounds good.
That's why I picked that number.
I'll pass. I'll pass, and I might move something to it. We'll see.
Over or under 12 double jumps between both.
God.
It had to be here.
It's bait. That's not one you. I have 2 more bets after this.
Yep.
Goodbye, double jumps. I can't. It's like
fine.
Not partaking.
What about over under on 7 anime boys?
This is no better. This is no better. I have 1 more bet.
Yeah, 1 more bet.
Do I still have 900?
You have 900.
I want to make you count the anime boys is the problem.
Luckily, I only need to count up to 7.
Yeah. 200 on under.
All right. I don't think that's a bad bet because there were like 5 in all Microsoft things last time. Why not Mini and Keeley's?
Oh, maybe anime boss.
The final one. Phil Spencer will say Game Pass 10 times.
I could see Phil Spencer not being there.
Yeah.
He's not at everything, and I could see him like letting, especially in the smaller Xbox show, let some of those Xbox whatever the fuck they're like series. So might pass or wait, I could take the under though, right?
Yeah.
If I how many
The
times?
beauty of these.
How
10
many
times.
Oh yeah. Yeah. 700 and under.
All right.
Yeah. I feel good about that one. I'm glad I saved up some.
You want to move any around?
So what? Remind me what my things were again.
Let's see. So first one, 15 new games announced for Game Pass. You had 400 on over. 25% of Open Night Live games will be games of service. 500 on under. 8 new games announced in general. 200 on over. You passed on shared games and double jumps. 200 under for anime boys, and 700.
Yeah, in hindsight, it's feeling very bad. Move all 500 on the Phil Spencer.
All right.
All 500 of the games as service bet onto old Phil.
All right.
So I have 2 bets in both of these that I'm betting big on.
Let's see if the random number generator did the same thing.
I'm like ride or die on Halo with Phil Spencer saving me.
Yep. All righty here. So what I did for the random number generator here is the same thing. Did the 4 bets or whatever, went down them, did the numbers, and then I went back and did between 1 or 2. Under 1 for under, 2 for over, and to decide which one it decided to do. So it decided to not worry about decided Game Pass. Who gives a fuck?
It's dead. Yeah, it's dumb service.
You know, it is very confident that Keeley will cool it with games of a service this time around. It put 1,500 on under.
Oh shit!
I can't remember our membership. It was like 27% at the
E3. Watch that because I just had 500. I'll watch. I moved away from that, and that's gonna be the thing. I think he has a good job. I'm a little scared that that's the one he put that much money. I'll be honest. I'm a little scared.
It was kind of funny because I did, like, in the order I'm reading this out for the random number generator is what I did. It was kind of spread out, and then it decided to go big on Elden Ring. For this one, it started big, so now it only has 500 left for the rest.
I feel like that was a smart choice. I'm a little scared. I spread myself out too much.
Let's see. 8 new games announced during Open Night Live and Xbox. It put a cool 100 on under.
Which one now? I'm sorry.
The 8 new games announced.
Oh, yeah.
2 games will be shared between each conference. 100 on under. It really likes the under.
Yeah. He's, undercut.
No double jumps, so I don't have to count double jumps.
Wow.
It also bet on Anime Boys,
Of course.
but it put 100 on over.
I like this. I like
So-
this war.
So what happened here? The 4 I named so far, the bets, the original 4 that I randomly generated, it was going to bet on, and then I went down the numbers, and it had 200 left. So I had to decide. I had to be like, okay, what other bet is this thing betting on? It did bet on Phil Spencer. It ended up being Phil Spencer says Game Pass 10 times. And it put 200 on under.
Okay. I have
And I'm glad it had 200 left because I also randomly generated it's going to be 100 or 200. That's going to just get it over with.
See, I'm an idiot because like the whole time I'm watching the Easy Allies, I'm like, y'all are spreading yourself too thin. You're doing this or whatever. And then in the heat of the moment, what did my dumb ass do? I did that. I have to rely on way too many things going right when like this genius over here, this bot just has to have, what was it, the Elden Ring and the fucking
Games of Service.
Game of Service, and checkmate.
Yeah.
Checkmate, it's over.
And that's why I just, and that's why Easy Allies, I know, put the limits like, okay, you got to bet on at least this amount. So everyone can't just put everything on one.
Yeah,
The
but putting like 1,500 plus is quite a lot on some of these.
Yeah.
And especially my Halo one was only 2-1 odds, where his Elden Ring is like a lot. So
It's 4-1.
not feeling great, but we'll see. Oh, this is really good, Jeff.
Thank you. So yeah, that is it. We will, once Gamescom happens, I will compile the results for this stuff, and we will, I guess, do this on the podcast.
Can I sneak away a betting special win
against a random number
a bot? Oh, well, thank you guys so much for joining us. You'll see you'll see if I can beat the random number generator in a few weeks. Oh, I'm gonna be made fun of so much when I lose. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Maybe tune in for live reactions to Gamescom shit, but even if not, then we will talk about it. And we have a whole slew of games coming up soon that we'll be talking about. We'll be off next week, but the week after that, be a hot one.
I guess potentially, I don't know when we record next. I guess it might be a little before Gamescom. Look at our Twitters to see if I'm reacting to the stuff.
Yes. Yes. Goodbye.
Bye.